A parallelogram has many properties, and in one of our previous videos we've discussed all those properties. But in this video we are going to concentrate on learning how to prove all those properties. And if you want to learn how to prove all the properties of a parallelogram, you've come to the right place. So let's jump into the video straight away. Come on, let's go. Hey guys, this is Vikas Sharma welcoming you on behalf of Exponent to Success to yet another of our videos. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, do subscribe to it right now, and do not forget to click on the bell notification too. Now I've also divided this video into different chapters, so you can just click on the description below and click on the timestamps and you'll be taken to the different chapters theorem wise. So you can click on whatever theorem you want to watch, click on that timestamp and you'll be taken to there directly. Like I said, in this video we are going to discuss all the properties that a parallelogram has, and we'll learn how to prove all those properties. So to do that, let's start with the simple definition of a parallelogram. So a parallelogram says that any quadrilateral having two pairs of opposite sides parallel to each other is a parallelogram. So in the first place, let's start with drawing a parallelogram. So let's say this is a parallelogram that I have. So once we have a parallelogram, all we know is, according to the definition of the parallelogram, is that two pairs of opposite sides are parallel to each other. So let's say that this side is parallel to this side because they are opposite sides, and this side is parallel to this side. Now, using this property, using this definition of a parallelogram, what we are going to prove is that one of the diagonals of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. So before we go into that, let's name this figure. So let's call this parallelogram A, B, C, D. So we have got this parallelogram A, B, C, D, and like I said, we are going to prove that the diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. So to do that, let's take a diagonal also. Let's take the diagonal BD. Now we know nothing about this parallelogram. We know no sides, we know no angles. All we know is that AD is parallel to BC and AB is parallel to CD. So let's start by writing that down. That AD is parallel to BC and AB is parallel to CD. Now we've got two triangles here. So in triangle ABD and triangle BDC, what do we have? Well, what I can see is, well, like I said, I know no sides, I know no angles. All I know is that these sides are parallel to each other and these two sides are parallel to each other. Let's say if AD is parallel to BC, what angles do I have here? This angle and this angle. Well, don't you see that AD and BC, they are parallel to each other and BD is one of the transversals. So what are these two angles in a parallel line called? Well, you know it, you have learned it. They're called alternate interior angles. So I know that angle ADB is equal to angle DBC, and I can write the reason that they are alternate interior angles. What else do we have here? We have that AB is parallel to CD. Now, if we look at AD and CD, AB and CD, there are two parallel lines, and we have a transversal BD which is intersecting them. So, what does this say about these two angles? This angle here and this angle here? Well, they should be equal, isn't it? Because they are also co-interior angles. So, let me write that also down. That angle ABD is equal to angle BDC. Again, alternate interior angles. And what we have is side BD is a common side in both of them. So I can say that this is a side which is equal in both the triangles. So we say that BD is equal to BD, being the common side. Now, to prove the congruence of parts, all we need is three conditions, and we have got those three conditions. We have got an angle here, we have got an angle here, and we have got a side here. Let's look at the angle. So this angle is equal to this angle is equal to this angle, and we have got side. So this angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. So we can say by ASA congruence condition, and you can see that this is the included side congruence rule. These two triangles are going to be congruent to each other. Now let's understand which two angles. So we start with A, go to D and B. So triangle ADB is congruent to which is the corresponding vertex of A in this triangle? Well, it is obviously C. And since from A we went to D, which is the single mark, so from C we go to B. So that is going to be triangle CB, and then we go to D. So we can say that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle CBD. So that brings us to theorem number 1, which says that a diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. Now once we have done that, we go to the next theorem, and the next theorem says that in a parallelogram opposite sides are equal. So now to prove that the opposite sides are equal, now if we have this relationship, so what I'll do is, since I don't need the proof anymore, I can delete that, and I can take this on the top, or I can take it here also, that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle CBD. Now what does it say about its corresponding sides? Well, if we look at the corresponding sides, so we've got AD, which is equal to BC. So AD is equal to BC. We can say by CPCT, which stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles. We can say that BD is equal to BD, so that's obvious. And we can say that AB is equal to CD, again by CPCT. Now what do we have here? That AD is equal to BC. So don't you see that AD and BC are opposite sides, and AB is equal to CD, they are also opposite sides. So we proved the next theorem also, that in a parallelogram opposite sides are equal. So remember this theorem, you can write it down if you want to. In a parallelogram opposite sides are equal. Now the next theorem that we have is the converse of this one, that if both pairs of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are equal, then it is a parallelogram. So you can again write down this theorem, that if both pairs of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are equal, then it is a parallelogram. So for this, let's start with drawing another parallelogram. So let's say that this is a parallelogram that we have, and we are given that this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side. Now nothing else we know. We have to prove that this is a parallelogram, and like the definition of parallelogram we have seen earlier, that it should have two pairs of opposite sides parallel to each other. So what I have to prove is that both these sides, let me name the triangle parallelogram also. Let me call it ABCD again. Now to do this, to prove that both sides are parallel to each other, we again have to prove the triangles congruent. So to make the triangles, we have to start with a diagonal to divide it into two congruent triangles. So let's say BD is a diagonal which divides it into two triangles, triangle ABD and triangle CDB. What do we have here? Let's see. We've got that AD is equal to BC, so we can write that down. AD is equal to BC, and we have been given that, so we will write it as given. The next thing that we have in both these triangles is that AB is equal to CD. We can write that also down, that AB is equal to CD, which is again given. And we have that BD is a common side in both the triangles, so I can say that BD is the same as BD. So let's write that down also. BD is equal to BD, which is a common side. So now that we have three conditions, we can say that these two triangles are congruent to each other. Can you tell me which congruence condition do we have here? Well, we have got this is a side, this is a side, this is again a side. So we can say by SSS congruence rule, now the naming of the congruent triangles, we have to be careful. So if we say ADB, so we are going from the single mark to the third 3 marks to the 2 marks. So triangle ADB is congruent to single mark to 3 marks. So we'll start with C, CBD. Now again, let me get rid of all this because we don't need it any further. I'll just keep the congruence that I had proved. And let's move it on top. So once you have this, what can we say about the angle? So we know that these two triangles are congruent. Well, if we talk about the, we can say that angle ADB, which is this angle here, that should be equal to angle CBD by seeing the congruence condition. So CBD, so these two should be equal. We can say by CPCD, again corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So once we have this, that these two angles are equal, and if we look at these two lines, so AD and BC are two lines and BD is the transversal, and if these two angles, which happen to be alternate interior angles, and we know that if alternate interior angles are equal, then the lines are parallel to each other. So we can therefore conclude that therefore AD is parallel to BC. So we have already proved one of the sides. Let's prove the other pair also. Now we can also say that angle ABD, so that happens to be this angle here, is equal to ABD. So that should be equal to angle CDB. CDB, so that happens to be this angle here, again by CPCT. So again we have got two lines AB and CD, and BD happens to be a transversal, and these two angles that we have here marked in blue, they happen to be alternate interior angles. And we know that in any two lines, if the alternate interior angles are equal, then the lines have to be parallel to each other. So therefore we can conclude that AB is parallel to CD. Well, we have proved that theorem also. Now a continuation of this theorem is that you can write down the theorem that in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. Now what do we have here? We have that angle ABD is equal to angle CDB. That's what we just proved. And another thing that we proved was that angle CBD is equal to, so CBD is equal to angle ADB. That is also that we just proved. So if this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2, what happens if I add both of them together? So I get angle ABD plus angle CBD, that should be equal to angle CDB plus angle ADB. I've just added the LHS together and the RHS together. LHS happens to be the left hand side and RHS is the right hand side. So once we add them together, what do we get? Angle ABD. Let's look at these angles. Let's mark them in a different color now. So we've got ABD. So ABD is this angle here. And angle CBD. So CBD is this angle here. Now altogether it means right from here to here. What angle is that? So we can just say it is angle B. So angle B, that is equal to angle CDB. So CDB, that happens to be this angle here, plus angle ADB. So ADB, that happens to be this angle here. So again we have this complete angle here, which is angle D. So we can say that angle B is equal to angle D, which are opposite angles in a parallelogram. Now we have got another relationship from this, that if these two angles are equal, then we can say that angle DAB, so that happens to be angle A here, is equal to angle DCB. Again, we can say by CPCT, corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So angle DAB is just angle A here, and angle DCB is angle C here. So that means angle A is equal to angle C. And there we have proved our next theorem also, that opposite angles in a parallelogram, they are equal. Now to keep the video short and simple, let's continue this in the next video that we have. So we'll stop it here and continue more in the next video. See you guys.